Welcome, everybody. It's Alan Palange with ProScript Media. Thanks very much for joining me on today's video webinar concerning Internet Marketing and Promotion, Page 1 Google Guaranteed. Sit back, enjoy, and I am certain by the end of this presentation, you will have a full comprehensive understanding of our Page 1 placement service. Exactly who is ProScript Media? ProScript Media and Advertising Services was established in 2009. Gold Clicks is a division of ProScript Media. When you visit our ProScript Media website, you'll find it's predominantly centric towards mobile applications and mobile websites. However, it does have all of our offerings on the website. When you go over to Gold Clicks, G-O-A-L, goldclicks.com, you'll find that site to be more centric towards website promotion and guaranteed placement on page 1 of Google. We are A-rated with the Better Business Bureau, and we are centrally located in Southern Florida in West Palm Beach, and we also have an office in Mountain View, California. At ProScript, you'll hear us oftentimes saying the future is now. And boy, is that not ever true. The Yellow Pages is dead and finished. It's gone. Direct mail does not work as it once did. And TV and radio remains out of reach for many small businesses. Having a small business connect with their potential prospects in today's environment is more challenging than it has ever been. Sit back, I'm going to show you a brief video clip that you'll find somewhat entertaining.
Listen, Frank, I really appreciate the extra care you're putting into our pipes, but, well, shouldn't you be, working on other people's plumbing and getting paid?
Gladys, I told you, it's the economy. It's gonna heat up. In the meantime, I'll keep working on our plumbing so I don't forget.
What do you mean it's the economy? People always need plumbers. Are you sure you're advertising in the right places?
Of course! I just bought another ad in the Yellow Pages last week.
Oh my God, I married a moron! If you're not on the internet, you don't exist! No, let me be very clear. Look at me. If you're not on the front page of Google, you don't exist!
Really? And I thought the internet was just for...
Don't you even go there.
If you're so smart, what should I do?
Easy. When this video's over, just push the button in the lower left-hand corner.
Gladys, you're the greatest.
And Frank, you're a moron.
Now, it's important to remember this video is dealing predominantly with our Page 1 Guaranteed Google service, which I'll explain in just a few moments. But do keep in mind that we are Google and Apple developers, so we develop a full line of mobile websites and mobile applications. We also develop traditional desktop websites. We do offer a paid advertising service on Google, also known as PPC or Google AdWords. We do promote websites, also guaranteed for page 1, whether that's a website we build or the client has their own website. We do have an SMS text marketing service platform, as well as a voice broadcasting service. For the sake of this video, let's concentrate solely on page 1 listings on Google and not be too concerned with the other services that we offer for the moment. The number one lead-in item that we offer and that our consultants will offer to their clients is our page 1 listing on Google, which is done both by building a single page website and a video commercial or testimonial. We like to keep it simple, the good old KISS rule. ProScript Media undertakes a certain methodology to all of our sales processes. We first sell a video listing and a single page website guaranteed for page 1 Google. We then go back to the client and look to upsell either general search engine optimization services for their website, or we look to sell them a website, be that a desktop or a mobile website, along with any of the other types of services we offer. We use the page 1 placement as a loss leader to develop a relationship with the client to then go back and sell our other services. But I'll say this, if you only sell page 1 placement, and you'll see the price point in just a moment, there is plenty of money to be made. By making a client an offer they almost cannot refuse, we are certain to become a trusted vendor. This will indeed open the door for further opportunities. That's why we offer a 100% money-back guaranteed on our page 1 video and page 1 website placement service on Google. ProScript is the only company we know of in the world that makes the following offer. We will develop a 45 to 60 second video testimonial or commercial with a 100% money-back guarantee that we will have that listing on page 1 of Google in what we call the natural search engine result page within 30 days for most businesses. The client only pays monthly, assuming that their listings are on page 1 of Google. ProScript writers will do all of the work producing the video. Video is produced and live within 4 business days of the actual order. Page 1 placement typically takes 14 to 21 days. However, most businesses will be on page 1 sooner than that. Video testimonials, video commercials, video animation, and whiteboard animation are the various items that we offer. Each listing campaign is specific to one city per search term with a max of 3 cities per campaign. We simply say to the client, let's take 6 search terms that you want to focus on. We will guarantee to have 3 of those on page 1 of Google. So for that particular campaign, we could use 3 cities combined with 6 search terms. And of course, our agreement or contract is a month-to-month offering to the client. They may cancel at any time. We offer video commercials and animation. Sit back and enjoy the next 3 examples as we show you one example of a video testimonial, an example of a video commercial, and a video animation. As I mentioned, all videos are complete and live within 4 business days of the order.
You've seen it. Mobile phones are everywhere. People just can't put them down. In the grocery store, in line at the bank, you name it. If you look around right now, you're likely to see someone using a mobile phone. And did you know that these same people are using their mobile phones to search for businesses just like yours? In fact, 1 out of every 5 searches is now done on a mobile device, and over 30% of those searches are done by people looking for a business or service in their local area. And amazingly, 52% of local mobile searches actually result in a call to a local business. But what happens when these new customers looking to buy click on the link to your site? If your website isn't mobile optimized, they have to scroll up and down, zoom in and out, and become frustrated very quickly. What's worse, they'll simply leave your site and go to the competitors who has made their site easy to use on their mobile phone. The fact is, 99% of people that leave your website because they couldn't use it on their mobile phone will never come back. And things are only going to get worse for you. Estimates show the number of mobile searches will surpass desktop searches as early as 2013. So, don't put up a roadblock between you and your new customers. Instead, put out the welcome mat and get your site ready for mobile. Call us today and start getting more clicks, more conversions, and more happy customers.
RLC Appraisals is a fine and decorative arts appraisal and consulting firm located in Boca Raton, Florida, offering appraisal services at affordable rates. All appraisals are carefully researched and documented and accurately reflect current market trends. The firm offers appraisals for the purpose of estate, capital gains, gift tax, charitable contributions, insurance coverage, damage, loss, equitable distribution, and resale. We specialize in the appraisal of antiques and residential contents, which include, but are not limited to, antiques, collectibles, fine art, firearms, decorative art, crystal, and silver. Appraisals can be provided for a variety of purposes, such as insurance coverage, damage claims, loss claims, federal estate tax, charitable donation, division of property, confirmation of value, sale of property, claim settlement, determine loss of value, general information. We are a USPA qualified appraiser serving our community for over 25 years. We welcome your inquiries, and you can please call us at 561-703-5866.
Hey Alan, it's TJ here in West Palm Beach, and I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to explain the short sale process in Florida when we first met. I spoke with many Florida short sale realtors and decided to go with your brokerage company. Your background as the director of the law firm here in Palm Beach, along with your background with handling Florida short sales since 2007, was beyond impressive. I found you very straightforward, honest and caring, and most importantly, very intelligent. I wanted to give you my family's heartfelt thank you for getting us out of a very bad situation. When you called me and informed me that the bank had approved the short sale and somehow you were able to get us 10 grand, I almost fell out of my chair. I'm sure you know how helpful your staff was and what a pleasure you guys were to deal with. I just wanted you to know how thankful we are that we decided to use your brokerage company, and I truly wish you and your staff the very best. You guys are really great.
A question I get all the time is, I know nothing about search engine optimization or SEO. Can I still sell the product? And I'd like you to remember that what you're selling is advertising for your clients. This is no different than any other form of advertising. It is quite a bit more potent, and the return on investment is typically far beyond what you would be able to achieve in newspaper or any other type of print or direct mail. But at the end of the day, there is no technical knowledge needed to sell this type of marketing service. Understand your product, understand how the client will benefit from that product, and it becomes like any other widget or any other type of advertising you would sell. Clients really don't care what goes on behind the scenes. What they care about is how much will it cost, how long will it take, and how will they benefit. This presentation is structured to answer each of those questions. Oftentimes, when a new consultant joins our team, one of the first comments I hear is, why is the service so inexpensive? Now, we do offer 3 variations of this particular package where a client can go for 1 search term, 2 search terms, or 3. 99% of all sales are 3 of 6 search terms guaranteed for page 1 Google, which is facilitated by building a 45 to 60 second video commercial and a single page website. As I mentioned, each listing may represent a different city, and the prices you see on the screen are for what we call Tier 3 businesses, which I'll explain a little bit more. But our page 1 service is $189 down, guaranteed for page 1 within 30 days, for most businesses, or they receive a full refund. Thereafter, for 3 search terms on page 1 of Google to be maintained is only $189 per month. Almost immediately after your client joins ProScript Media, their single-page website will be developed and complete within 24 hours or 1 business day. Thereafter, both you and the client will receive reports every 3 days indicating exactly where their position is or what their rankings are for the search terms that they're trying to achieve page 1 placement. If you start at the top left of your screen, you'll see it says keywords up 24 since the last week. That means 24 of this client's search terms continue to move up the rankings. Moving up is good. The closer you get to position 1, the better. Page 1 of Google consists of 10 positions per page. Our guarantee is page 1, so we're highly focused on positions 1 through 10. Top 3, which is the next box over, represents those listings that are position 1, 2, or 3 on page 1 of Google. Our main focal is page 1, top 10. In this case, this particular client has 8 of 53 search terms on page 1 of Google. If you look at the next little call out, Google ranking, that column shows you the ranking, the position number for the various search terms to the left on page 1 of Google. Now, the report will start populating for Bing and Yahoo, but our main focus is Google. So as you can see, position number 36 would represent page number 4, as there's only 10 positions per page. And then the boxes to the right will show you the top 20, meaning the first 2 pages, top 30, first 3 pages, and then top 100. But as you'll hear me oftentimes say, anything other than page 1 of Google is completely inconsequential. How will my client benefit from page 1 placement? Being found on page 1 of Google will get you exposure in front of those potential clients searching for your product or service. It's that simple. Reach your potential buyer at the exact moment they need your product or service. Think of Google as the modern-day Yellow Pages. Think of your own habits, what you do and how you search online for what you desire. At the moment, Google owns about 85% of the search engine market in the United States. Most searches start and finish on page 1 of Google. Page 2 placement or higher will not gain the client any exposure of any consequence. It's all about page 1 of Google. This particular slide is showing the typical result or results you would find. In this case, we had searched for movers West Palm Beach. As you'll see in the shaded area at the very top, those are paid ads, people that are paying Google to be on page 1, as well as the listings on the right-hand side. Those are all paid ads. The organic or natural results are those listings that are in the center of the page. And again, this is what a typical search engine result page would look like. What do you really recall from the prior slide? Probably nothing. Google says that the first 3 listings, meaning position 1, 2, and 3 of the natural results, not the paid results, get most of the traffic. Human nature is simply this: the eyes scan top to bottom, left to right. Each page of Google results can have up to 24 listings. It's an extremely crowded space. If the phone number is in the Google listing, potential clients are more likely to call the number than even click on the link. How exactly do you stand out in the crowd? So most of the listings on the prior page, the Google result page, they really all look the same. The prior Google page reflected normal listings on Google. Nothing really jumps off the screen. This is why most people click on the first 3 listings on the page of the natural results, not the paid results. Now, look at the next page and tell me what you see as a major difference. So what exactly jumps off the page? If you look at the first result that has an image to the left of the listing and the phone number in the title of the listing, that's one of ProScript's results. This result is a thumbnail of the video that we use, and this is their placement for page 1 Google. Now, the great thing is they don't need a website, and our work, the work we do to achieve page 1 Google, has nothing to do with the client's website, if in fact they have a website. This is a completely standalone product that is independent of anything else that the client may be doing. That's a very important point. The other 2 points that are very important to express to every client is they are not paying per click and they are not paying per phone call. For this kind of a listing, it's $189 a month, and we would hope that the client would get as many clicks or calls as possible, and it's a flat fee. Now, as it just so happens on this particular result, the very next listing under the video result happens to be the one-page website that we had built for this client. And I'll show you what that one-page website looks like in a moment. But the great benefit for this particular client is they own position 1 and 2 on our page 1 placement. Can't beat that. So let's drill down a little bit more on the listing, and you can see what jumped off the prior page. Certainly the image attracts the eye. The phone number is in the listing title, and quite honestly, and again, think of your own habits. When you do a search for a local business, something that is local in nature, many times you're looking for a phone number. You want a quotation, an estimate, you have a question about the service, whatever it may be. But the image on our listing makes all the difference. The end result, 70% of local searches are performed on a smartphone. Most mobile users can just click the phone number in the listing and be connected to the business. This is a professionally produced video testimonial or commercial that we offer as a part of the package. That is a part of the setup fee. And don't forget, the client will only pay monthly, assuming we have them on page 1 of Google. What a difference. Our page 1 listing jumps right off the page. What a difference an image really makes. All of our page 1 video listings will have the image to the left of the listing and the phone number in the listing title. The eye is automatically drawn to the listing. The phone number is in the title of the listing. Desktop users, according to Google, are more likely to just pick up the phone and dial the number than even bother clicking on the link. Most mobile users can just click on the number and be connected to the business. To sell internet marketing and promotion requires a high level of trust between you and the client, as does any sale. Ask your client if they understand the benefits of page 1 Google placement. Remember, they pay nothing monthly, and we offer a 100% guarantee, but they pay nothing monthly until which time they appear on page 1 of Google, which of course will happen within 30 days. ProScript Media has taken the risk out of internet marketing. And of course, there's value purely in the video testimonial, video commercial that we build. But in the end, it's all about having exposure on page 1 of Google. In today's world, it's almost impossible to perform any marketing or advertising for only $189 a month that will deliver any results. And the return on investment on page 1 Google will far outpace any other form of advertising. So why would anyone not want page 1 placement? Many times, they do not understand exactly what your offer is. It must be spelled out very clearly. And in a moment, we're going to go through some basic or common objections, and it is very important that you continue to scrape what the client's objection is to make sure that they really understand the product in which we're offering. Very, very important. Understanding page one placement is very important. Again, it's all about the image jumping out of the page and the phone number in the title of the listing. Make sure your client understands this is not paid advertising through Google. They do not pay per click, or they do not pay per phone call. The image and listing that appears on page one of Google will always have the client's phone number detailed in the listing. Most people searching for local business on Google are really after the phone number of the company. Our listings bring the phone number front and center, and our image in the listing brings the listing right off the page. If the client is on a mobile device, many of them, depending on their operating system, can just click the number to dial. For those searching on a desktop computer, they simply pick up the phone and dial. This is an example of a single-page website. Now, of course, for the purpose of this video, we've sliced the web page in half. Typically, the image on the right would be centered under your image on the left. But this is a page this is a single page website, which many times will also appear on page one of Google. The guarantee is 3 of 6 search terms to be on page one of Google between the single page website that we build and the video that we produce. I'm sure many of you have seen this kind of a listing result on page one and maybe wondered what the A, B, C, D, E, F, G listings really meant. But this is Google Maps. And if you look at the map on the top right-hand side, you'll see how they're identifying the letters of these respective businesses and where they're found actually on the map. Google Maps will be claimed free of charge for all of ProScript Media clients if the client has not already claimed their listing. Many clients have not claimed their listing, 50% according to Google. An easy way to ask the client if they've claimed their listing is whether or not they've ever received a postcard from Google with a PIN number. If they have no clue as to what you're referring to, chances are they do not have a Google Maps listing. If we are able to claim our client's Google Map listing, we will also attempt to have that found on page one for the relevant search terms for that particular client. Again, what you need to keep in mind is all of us, you and the company, ProScript, is looking to build a book of business. The only way we will be successful is to make sure that our clients are getting a good enough stream of phone calls on a monthly basis. If we achieve that, we will have a client for life, and many times we'll be able to sell the client any one of the other items that ProScript offers. So as you'll begin to notice in the future, Google has really gone out of its way to bring the searcher local results. If you're in a particular city looking for a particular local business, you want results relevant to what you're looking for. The below gives an example of clients on Google Maps listing, and as I had mentioned, 48% of all businesses have not claimed their Google Maps listing. Google Maps can be an important component of our marketing campaign. It is vital that our clients work with us to assure they have presence on Google Maps. Local, local, local. The more Google matures, the more you will see local results when searching for just about anything. Google Maps typically returns results that are very local in nature and typically of those businesses in our local area that we could drive to right around the corner. Now, many of the customers you're going to speak to that we solicit are paying Google to be on page one of Google. So they're either performing a PPC campaign or an AdWord campaign, and all that really means is they're paying Google and they're actually bidding against their other competitors to show up on page one of Google, which could be very expensive, extremely expensive. So some of these objections may not really apply, but I wanted to lay some of them out for you to just digest as we go through this. But again, many of the clients we solicit are those people that are already paying Google to be on page one. Most objections are related to only a few factors. The first one would, of course, you would be dead in the water if this is one of the objections. The client just does not trust you. Or the client does not understand exactly what you're pitching. The client does not understand what the benefits are. Now, for those that are paying Google to be on page one, they certainly understand the benefits. The client sees no problem, therefore does not need our solution. And you may have a client say, well, I'm already on page one. What we tell clients is it's no different than when you used to advertise in the yellow pages or in the newspaper. If you had the ability to have an ad in the yellow pages that was a half page rather than a business card size, certainly you would do it because you would just be getting that much more exposure. And we know by getting more exposure, we ultimately will have more phone calls and ultimately more conversions for new clients. The last objection could be the client does not understand the value of your proposition. And what I like to tell people is page one Google for $189 is probably the best return on investment of any marketing dollars they will ever spend. And that's the truth. If they're spending $350 or $400 on paid advertising on Google, they'll get about the same level of results as they'll get with our $189 package. So many times we'll tell a client that our $189 is actually equivalent to $350 to $400 of your spend budget on Google PPC or Google AdWords. Very important to keep that in mind. So what kind of objections do we hear? Well, I'm already on page one of Google. Well, I love this one. Okay, that's like saying I have one form of advertising and no desire to improve my sales or gain or achieve extra exposure. Then I ask, what are you? Now, this particular rebuttal and objection typically would be for a client that is not paying Google to be on page one. So a client may say, well, I'm on page one, and I'll reply, what are you on page one for? And the client will tell me, well, for my company name. And I'll say, well, what good is that? Only people that are familiar with your company will ever find you. If I'm looking for a plumber or a mover or a painter or an attorney or an eye doctor, the whole point, if I knew who to go to, well, then I probably wouldn't be looking on Google. This is about getting your business in front of people that don't know you exist, which is really the whole point of any advertising. ProScript will expose our clients to those people looking for their product or service. These people would not know our clients exist if it were not for their Google exposure. Now, sometimes we'll hear, well, it's too expensive. And I love this one. Too expensive compared to what, I'll ask. Any form of advertising carries a cost. What's most important is the return you get on that investment. I guarantee you will never find advertising for this small amount of money that will be this effective. No other media company in the world will build you a video, guarantee page one placement within 30 days for most tiered businesses, or you get your money back. When you think about it, what does our client really have to lose? When you arrive on page 1 of Google, we both understand you will get activity. With our offer, there is no risk for our potential clients. Some clients may say, well, it's only for one city. Well, that's really not true. Our basic package for $189, we offer 3 listings on page 1 of Google, and we ask the client for a total of 6 search terms, and we can divide that into 3 cities. Each listing of the 3 that we guarantee may represent a different city. If a client later wishes to add additional cities, they certainly can do so. Once we have a client that's in our system, we do offer very nice discounts for additional services. Now again, you'll get this from this particular objection potentially from people that are not advertising to be on page 1. Those that are advertising to be on page 1 absolutely understand it, and they understand the benefit of being there. But sometimes you'll hear somebody say, well, how do I know if I'll get any phone calls? As I'm sure you're aware, Google is the largest search engine in the world. They hold 85% of the search engine market. You realize this, right? I'll ask the client. By having listings on page 1 of Google in your local city, you will most certainly produce phone calls. So the client may say, well, can we guarantee how many calls I'll get? Well, no advertiser or no medium of marketing or advertising can ever guarantee how many calls you'll actually get. So a good response will be, I can't guarantee how many calls you may receive, but I can share with you what my other clients receive. For $189 a month, we would expect you to receive 10 to 15, maybe 20 phone calls monthly. However, I have clients that receive more, and I have clients that receive on the lower end towards 10 or 15 phone calls. It's impossible for us to know. It's no different than placing an ad in the newspaper or any other form of advertising. Nobody will ever guarantee how many calls you will receive. We can, however, guarantee that you will have listings on page 1 of Google. By virtue of that, I know you will be very happy, and you will understand after running the campaign that it far outproduces any other form of advertising that you've ever done. So that's the point. Imagine you took out an ad in the old print edition of the Yellow Pages. Think about this for a moment. You would have a choice of placing a display ad within a certain category, say plumber, doctor, whatever the case may be. If you didn't put a display ad, you would receive a free 1-line listing under your name. In the old days, we called that part of the phone book the white pages, and it actually was. They were white. You only went to the white pages when you remembered the company name, but needed their phone number. If you searched in the display ads section of the Yellow Pages, you did so by category. That's really the same thing as searching online on Google using a particular search phrase. So if I live in West Palm Beach and I need a plumber, there's a high likelihood I'll type in plumber in West Palm Beach or plumbing West Palm Beach, whatever the case may be. So the guarantee and package details are very simply this. For a very reasonable fee, we will provide the following package. Think of this as any other type of advertising and marketing. That's all it really is. Any additional exposure that our clients can get in front of potential clients, their clients, is advertising, period. We build a custom video testimonial or video commercial. We use paid actors if we're not running an animation video. We'll write the script for all of the videos. We'll produce a 45 to 60 second video commercial or testimonial. We guarantee insertion in the Google Maps if our client has not already claimed their listing. We offer a 100% money back guarantee if our client is not on page 1 of Google within 30 days. Think about that, how powerful that is. All campaigns are local to a specific city or cities within one county. We'll insert each one of our clients' by building them a single-page website into our local directory, which I had shown you an example of earlier, mylocalbusinesslisting.com. And again, it's a month-to-month contract. So what is organic Google results and what is pay-per-click ads? The illustration to the left explains the difference and illustrates the difference between paid Google advertising and the placements thereof and what ProScript guarantees. Take a look at the red organic search results. That's what we call organic or natural, because it's what Google is bringing up without anybody paying to be there. But as you'll hear me oftentimes say, if somebody is on page 1 of Google, they're paying a company like ours to be there. It doesn't happen by accident. We put our clients on page 1 of Google in the organic section, not the pay-per-click section. What should my client or your clients expect? As I've said, it really depends on the monthly budget, but if a client spends $189 monthly, we will expect them to get 15 to 20 calls a month, and maybe more. I could tell you stories of clients that have really hit it out of the ballpark that are getting 40 and 50 calls a month, but we don't tell our new clients that. We set the bar and the expectation properly so we can exceed it. But again, a lot of the people you're going to be soliciting are actually in the pay-per-click ad section. So you can, if whatever niche you want to call on a particular day, just do a search on Google and put in a particular city, and anybody that is in that top shaded area or off to the right-hand side is paying Google. And the way that really works, very simply, is much like eBay, if you're familiar with eBay. Each one of these advertisers are bidding against each other to be on page 1. So you can call people that are doing pay-per-click ads on page 1, page 2, page 3. It doesn't matter. As long as they're paying Google, they want to be in the game. They understand the benefit of being on page 1. And they're paying dearly per click to be on page 1. To give you an example, if I was a plumber, I could be paying $12 to $15 per click, not per call, per click. And it typically will take 3 clicks to get a phone call. And it will typically take 3 to 5 calls to actually get a job or to book a deal. Our listings are a flat $189 a month for most businesses, and we will blow away the results they're getting on paid advertising. So how long will it actually take? Most cities and business types will have page 1 Google placement within 14 days. Video production time, as I've mentioned, is 4 business days from the date of order, and we will immediately start promoting the video the moment it's been produced. We build all of our clients' single-page websites, which may be found within our local business directory within 24 hours of their order. So again, let's talk about how our clients will benefit. It's new client acquisition. I mean, it's what it's all about. Most small businesses grow by proper advertising and having the right location. Page 1 Google provides one of the most cost-effective return on investments more than any other form of advertising. The longer we promote the business, the better the results the clients will achieve. What could be 3 page 1 listings today could be 9 in 3 months. I could show you examples of clients that have 20 page 1 listings for $189 a month. But they've been in the campaign and they've been with us for 3 months, 6 months, what have you. Now, please keep in mind, ProScript and GoldClicks has been around for 5 years, and we started as a search engine optimization company, and of course remain so to this day. We have hundreds and hundreds of examples of page 1 placements, and each one of these placements has our logo, be it the ProScript logo or the GoldClicks logo, on all of the websites that we represent. But if you have a client that's curious to see some of our placements, we have a list of them that we can share with you. But you could certainly imagine that getting on page one, competing against other SEO companies, search engine optimization companies, is quite the challenge. You can do any of the following searches and you'll find our websites on page one of Google. SEO company Hawaii, SEO company Montana, local SEO company Los Angeles. We're there, we're on page one. Click on the link, go to the bottom of the page, you'll always see our logo on the very bottom. This is an example of a client that's been with us for a number of years, and you can search the following: asphalt paving Fort Worth. If you do that, I believe he will have a video listing, certainly his URL, which is his web address, fortworthasphaltpaving.com, will also be on page one, and I'm pretty sure the single page website that we constructed is also on page one. So in this case, he may have 3 listings on page one. If you click on his link, fortworthasphaltpaving.com, and pull up the website, and then go to the very bottom, you'll find our logo, Gold Clicks, on the very bottom. Again, this is Alan Palange with ProScript. I welcome you, and I hope this has been informative and it's been able to captivate your interest, as certainly it does mine. Page one placement is a phenomenal service. It's one of those services that every business in America desires and wants. They're just trying to find an honest and reputable firm that will actually deliver on their promise. This is part of the reason we have our 100% money-back guarantee. If we don't get you there in 30 days, you get all of your money back. It's that simple. So welcome aboard. I wish you the very, very best. Again, it's Alan Palange with ProScript Media, and I will see you on the other side. Thanks again.